Hello and welcome to another episode of Alan Develops. We're working on Journey to the Center of the Nougat. I decided to start with the NPC villain because the villain will help me determine what the heroes are like, and vice versa, because I'll probably do some shaping up afterwards. This is the Spirit of the Century character sheet, courtesy of SRD Sandcat. It's Evil Hat Games puts out Spirit of the Century. So go to their site and see what they've got. The reason I'm using this form is because it's form fillable, and thus I can do it in front of you. All right. I also had a little opportunity to go to Spanish name generator from fantasynamegenerators.com. It's an excellent source for just throwing stuff at the wall until you get something that sounds good. And I also did a little bit on Wikipedia for naming conventions for Spaniards, especially conquistadors. Yeah, there we go. And there's the SRD too. This is basically just a list of stuff if I have to refer to it with various Spirit of the Century. Because I do want to work within the rule system and not have to rewrite everything or, basically remake the wheel. Okay, so born with the sword in hand. Okay, so sorry, that just came to me. So anyway, his name is Hortono Bartino Sanz de Balboa. Probably slaughtering it if you speak Spanish out there. Well, congratulations, you speak Spanish. I don't. I don't, and I'm very bad at it. I literally had one class of it, and it involved hand puppets. Don't talk about it. All right. So anyway, he is a longevic conquistador. That's probably the wrong spelling. That's fine. We're moving on. No spell check here. His archetype is the warlord because that's essentially what he is. I tried to fuss around with it. Maybe, it's a melee master or what have you. His highest is going to, in fact, be intimidation and melee. So I know his skills. In fact, I am going to have to put down for, or weaponry, I think it says it's called. Weapons, yes. It's a fighting skill. And I need it as the highest because he's going to be facing off against player characters. Probably more than one, and he needs to be really good at this. I may, in fact, boost it up a little more, but intimidation, we'll deal with his third skill when time comes. Let's work on the aspects. Aspects are things that can be used for character positively or negatively. And in this case, his first one is born with a sword in hand. He was trained and raised as a fighting man. And that means he's very good at being at the melee stuff, but it also means that he tends to resort to it, perhaps before he should. Hot-tempered. He tends to deal with things. He tends to deal with things with violence, just as kind of a reflex. Add in hot-tempered. Do I want that? That's a classic Spanish trait, perhaps too cliche. Ice in the veins is the parallel to that, where he just doesn't react. It's he's very cold to the world. Neither seems to suit. Neither hot nor cold for this character. Alternatively, you go the third route, which is eternally bemused. Like the whole thing is a joke. He doesn't really get it. It's. And eternally, of course, feeds into his longevic roots. Yeah, I mean, that works. There's probably something better for that. We'll move on. Okay, this is his childhood. Alternatively, we do wealth. What was he training for? vigorous in all things. Since he was born with a sword in hand, he's also vigorous in all things, where he just doesn't do things with half measures. I like that better than the other stuff that we're doing with personality. This was basically his childhood, being born with a sword in hand and being vigorous. Let's move on to his young adulthood, where he basically became a conquistador. Well, he wasn't a conquistador. He's one of the fighting men with the conquistador that they went to South America, and then they, etc., etc., etc. And Lost Expedition. And this, I like it. I like it. There's things he learned on the Lost Expedition and things he lost on the Lost Expedition. Because yes, that works. That works. And then there was the coca plant. Well, there's the coca plant. It feeds into vigorous in all things. Coca plant. Now, if I say coca plant addiction, that means he is essentially addicted to it. It's less good, less airy than the others. I may replace it. See, yeah. I mean, it meets the criteria for an aspect. It could be both good, it can be both bad. It's certainly interesting, but it's less dynamic than the Lost Expedition or vigorous in all things. The chocolate life. I like that. Where literally he's living the chocolate life, where he's having his chocolate every day and he's living a long time for it. It's both good, it's both bad. Okay, that's more descriptive than his other stuff. Now we still have 6 more to go. This is my kingdom. That's for the land he conquered, basically, and carved out of the thing. And now, how are we going to do his contempt for the natives? Because we need that, because this is his kingdom, but he also doesn't like the natives. Those beneath my boots. I like that. Okay, sure. Those beneath my boots. He considers them beneath him, but he also has to acknowledge that they're there. All right, and that's him establishing his kingdom in there. Now the next 4 aspects can be from any of his. Well, technically, if this was a PC, it would be any of his adventures that he's had with other people. Okay, which would let's tie him into some of the other villainous personas that we have running around. In Spirit of the Century, this would be Dr. Millennium. That mysterious doctor. Which I like. Now we are going to deal with one of our players. Yeah, okay. See, I don't know if I'm going to use these. It works. The Enchanting Miss Shea is based on a player character that somebody ran in a campaign that I ran for Spirit of the Century. And Miss Shea was, in fact, a newspaper. She was a journalist. She is, in fact, if anything, the last entry. Because she was a traveling correspondent, and she employed a typewriter that had killed a man. Uh, she often used it as a weapon, having to reset the keys afterwards. But it was a sturdy little thing. It all flows to me. Which is his the longevity thing, which he deals with the doctor, which he got a more, let's say he had a more potent version of things. Starring in the treasures of on the ebb of the okay, Doctor Millennium travels to the edge of the world, South America, pursuing hints of a vital plant that can cease aging and restore vitality. And it's not coffee. He meets a Spanish conquistador who has survived thanks to the plant, but the man is on the ebb of the longevic scale. Millennium with Hortano with the successfully recovers a new breed of coca plant and distills a longevic essence that restores the Spaniard to vigor and life. They part as friends. Mysterious doctor. Also, it was the what was it called? It all flows to me. Okay. The astounding modern world. I don't know where that came from, but we'll do with it. Shay and the Amazon. All right. The Shay, enterprising correspondent, travels to the Amazon in search of Amazons. Instead, she finds a Spanish conquistador Okay, so there are Amazons. She finds them as well as a Spanish conquistador from bygone times. Competition is fierce for her heart, and it is with sadness that she has to leave them all behind. She is, after all, a free agent, and desires to remain so. She's a wild spirit, and she will not be bound. So now there are Amazons. There are actual Amazons. It's fine. Didn't think I would be adding that, but it's fine. Fine. Okay. What we did? We did. What do we call them? The Enchanting Miss Shea and the Astounding Modern World. All right. Now, well, technically, those beneath my boots. This is my kingdom. We're going to tell the Lost Expedition. I need a guest star for the Lost Expedition. So this would have taken place 1500s, 1600s. My knowledge of conquistadors is not specific enough. I know Cortez was 1500s. All right, so I'm going to need a guest star, and I'm going to pull in somebody who's like, say, Grace Jones, in her various guises. On screen, she's ferocious. As one of the Amazons, boy, I could be awfully racist with this. I'm not going to be. Let's make her a Nubian of some sort, which means, you know, I'm saying that that's the style of it. She's an African queen, call it. Or say maybe the gems that came from, what was that central state that existed for a long time? It was African. It was not Wakanda, obviously. All right. Well, I will have to. Queen. An expedition to the depths of the Amazon finds perils plenty. Funded by Queen finds perils aplenty. In pursuit of fame and glory. It is here that a young okay. Okay. Is badly wounded and nursed back to health by a tribe of Amazons. Though left for dead, by the expedition, he recovers at the end. Okay, so he's really a bit player in Phase 3 of this. So he's left behind by the African king and the conquistador, who will remain nameless. But that does mean there are Amazons. They're actual Amazons. They're amazing. Okay. Really, this belongs in Phase 2. Fine. Easy enough to switch. Don't get too locked in with anything. I mean, you can move things around. Alright, an expedition. Hard to the Amazon. So we have to redo this. That's fine, we've moved one thing up. Alright, let's move things around a little. Let's give the Amazon Queen her own thing. Instead of African, we'll do Amazon. Hortono. Hortono. Attempts to seduce the Amazon Queen and is forced to flee for his life into the jungle. There he surmounts its dangers, tames its wild creatures, and establishes his rule over a native populace. And it's obviously a non-Amazon. This draws the attention of the Amazon Queen, and the two clash as rivals with an undertone of romance. Though it goes badly for both, they survive to stew in their regrets. Okay. Yeah, that works. So instead of an African queen, we have an Amazon queen. That's fine. I can still make her like Grace Jones, and because I mean they're Amazons, so whatever you do with them, they're mythical anyway. Alright, here's the events. Hortonel is born to a farming family in Balboa. But he shows skill with a blade when a boar attacks during a harvest festival and comes to the attention of, well, I was thinking Inigo Montoya from The Princess Bride, but the traveling sword saint Montoya, Emil Montoya. A distant uncle to his to Hortono's mother. Emil takes under his wing making training the boy in all aspects of combat that he has mastered, the sword saint. The way of the sword, so that his family will forever be cared for. At the end, Hortono decides to join an expedition and impatient Hortono decides to join an expedition to the Amazon to win a quick fortune or an early grave. All right. There we go. Oh, I need this to be endurance, don't I? Yeah, he's got to have a lot of hits. Okay. So we've got the stunts. Let's round out his skills really quick. The stunts are probably going to have to wait. No, the stunts are pretty quick. Whatever's on hand means he's always armed. What I'd like to do here is whatever's on hand. The blade is my wife. Plus one. And lastly, we'll do riposte. Spin. Basically, spin is if you've got 3 successes on a defense, you normally just get 1 success you can carry over. With him, he can inflict damage on it. Inflict stress. All right, intimidation. Let's go up and see about intimidation. Resources, piloting, investigation, intimidation. All right. I don't like subtle menace. Maybe infuriate. I'm going to take infuriate. Infuriate sounds fun. And lastly, we need an endurance feat. All right, persistence. I like last leg. Do that last leg. Void KO. All right, infuriate. Okay, so what else is he good at? I need a bit of leadership, I know that much. And it is no good if he doesn't have some physical skills like might. Alertness would also be good. Or do we do investigation? I don't know. Certainly not going to be art or burglary or academics. Drive, empathy, engineering. I'm going to give him a little bit of engineering. Just so he's not boring. Resources as well. He does have some resources. They're very specific sort of resources, but he has them nonetheless. God, stop that. Not academics. Not academics. Survival. Does he do stealth? He can. All right. Rapport. I'm good at making friends. I'm going to need him to have a little bit of guns. He's not as good as you might think, but whatever. So, what else do we have? Stealth. Just in case he can sneak. Ooh, athletics. Do I want to boost that up? Yeah. No, and in fact, let's swap that out for resources. i.e. he's in the middle of the Amazon. He has some resources, but not really. Bergman contacting deceit. Definitely no empathy. I'm going to give him a little bit of mysteries, because he does have the coquetry. Nothing in science per se. Nothing in gambling. I don't see why he'd have that. Not anything in drive. Deceit contracting. Art. Do I want to give him art? No. Geez, there's. All right. Do a little rapport, so we can get people to open up. He's not entirely closed off. I mean, he's a terrible person, but whatever. You don't make villains to be cuddly unless they're, unless that's your thing. The needs of the story require him to be a certain person. We're not going to go outside of that. I think resolve. He's not good at it, but whatever. I may have him have a gadget, which is the coca extract. It's a one-shot, -5 stress. And I think that's it. I think that's our villain. Alright, now I need to save this. Save this. Hortono, the villain. Alright, the chocolate villain. Alright, so that's that. And that immediately... What? No, I wanted that. Okay, I'm going to sort this out. I'm going to select it. It'll be great. All right, but I hope you've enjoyed this little walk through Creative Territory. We've created a villain. It only took us half an hour. Plus, you put time into this, and it will show. The players will enjoy it, even if they don't see everything. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Stay safe and take care out there, all right? Thanks.